Now to news in Washington. Fox News has been reporting that former IRS official Lois Lerner's BlackBerry was apparently wiped clean. That after congressional investigators began looking into her involvement in the Tea Party targeting scandal. What does this mean? Jay Sekulow is chief counselor of the American Center for Law and Justice, who is suing the IRS. He represents 41 groups in 22 states as part of the targeting scandal. Jay, do you think that the Internal Revenue Service, good morning, do you think that the IRS, the most powerful agency, one of the most powerful agencies in this country, intentionally destroyed evidence to try and hide wrongdoing?
I do think they have, and I think that they're complicit in this. Now, you just had that story about the great white shark. Maybe the shark swallowed Lois Lerner's BlackBerry. But the reality is, everything's removed. You know, you had Cleta Mitchell on, who's got a companion case with ours, just a few moments ago, talking about the fact that the IRS and the Department of Justice have come into court, Eric, and have said under oath that they made attempts to get this information and they were not successful. They couldn't do it. Now we find out through the Judicial Watch disclosures that, in fact, the information is available. It's just burdensome to get it. Well, you know, when you've been alleged that you've committed a crime, you've got to produce the evidence when that evidence is available in whatever format it is. But there's another aspect to the intrigue here, and that is a Department of Justice lawyer who was defending the IRS previously worked for, guess who? Lois Lerner in the tax-exempt office, and he himself was part of the targeting. And when he left the IRS, left the Department of Justice, he went to work in White House counsel's office.
So now he's investigating his former boss?
Unbelievable.
He's investigating his former boss?
That's correct. And defending his former boss when he himself was involved in the activities which we allege are illegal, which the Attorney General said might be criminal.
All right, allegedly. You mentioned Cleta Mitchell.
This lawyer was involved in it.
You mentioned Cleta Mitchell. I asked her this question. I'm going to ask you the same question. Lois Lerner's BlackBerry, suddenly destroyed, wiped clean. Could this lead to potential obstruction of justice charges, or at least contempt of Congress?
Well, it should lead to both. I mean, the whole idea that you're on notice that there's a congressional investigation going on. You have the IRS chief counsel testifying. You had the Attorney General say he's pursuing criminal investigations here, and then the information's gone. If you intentionally destroy evidence, that is a crime. If you make a statement in court saying the evidence is not available, and it is, that's also a crime.
Well, Jay, where are the cries?
Here, and I think with Darrell Issa,
where are the cries and the demands for, special prosecutors, for full investigations, for bringing people into court? Where's all that? We would have heard that years ago.
You know, if it was anybody else, you would have, but the Department of Justice is basically taking the position that they are going to stall this thing through, certainly through the midterms, Eric. And I'll give you one other one here that I think is part and parcel of this entire problem. There has been a call for a special prosecutor, special counsel. We had a hearing on that at the end of July. It was one of the last hearings Congress had, and it's precisely for this reason. The conflict of interest is so significant that you've got the Department of Justice basically investigating itself for activity that they engaged in, which may also be criminal.
Well,
so this whole thing is, I call it a faux investigation. These are not real investigations.
Well, they would say that it is.
Tactic.
They would say it is a real investigation, and they are trying to get to the bottom of that. Even those critics say that's not the case. The New York Observer this morning, right now, saying this quote is beyond outrageous and it screams of guilt. Certainly, this is not the end of it. Jay Sekulow, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Eric.